Yo, what's up, y'all, man? We back. It's your boy, man, CD Rome, back with another episode of Watch Your Narrative podcast, and we got a good one this time. We got a good one. And make sure I mention that, of course, this is Watch Your Narrative presents Truth by Rome. Truth by Rome. So this is where we get a little bit more intimate. We have a one-on-one conversation with someone that we all know, someone from the league here. This show was built on, of course, narratives that shape, and everybody knows that being the 2K chats we all have, whether good, bad, or indifferent, the narrative. So this guy that I got coming in today, same thing, we all have him. He has his. Some may call him the GOAT. That's the narrative that's running around. Some may call him the GOAT, some may say, he runs from competition, but I mean, he is the comp at this point, so happy to have him on. Cool guy. So without further ado, man, we are welcoming Ajonte Bullock to the show. Welcome to the show, Bullock. What's up, man? What's going on?
What's going on, man? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good, man. Welcome to the show, bro. This is long time coming, bro. Long
Very.
time coming. I mean, we talk about this has been a conversation for a couple months. We've been trying to get this thing together, man. So appreciate you, sharing your time with me, man, and coming to the show.
For sure, man. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, and I told you this before the show. As soon as I came in, I was like, "Man, has anybody told you you look like Isaiah Thomas?" Like, chat, y'all tell me what y'all think, man. Like to me, I'm seeing Isaiah. That's just me. He said a
Yeah,
couple other names, but I'm seeing Isaiah Thomas, man.
yeah,
Good time.
yeah.
Do you hoop like? I know you heard you got a little game too.
Yeah, I don't hoop like you talking. So what Isaiah Thomas you talking about? You talking about the most recent one or
Yes,
the
Boston,
yeah,
Boston. Yeah,
yeah. Uh, nah. He get to the rack a little more than me.
yeah.
I'm very like midi heavy, three,
Okay.
you know. I get to the rack, but that's not the strength of my game. Pass a lot, so.
Yeah. So you trying to pull up for a bucket.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
my that's my game right there.
yeah. So listen. So of course, you and I we met through the league that we have. I always say that you know I love the league from this perspective that a lot of brothers that I've been able to meet, we would have never probably crossed paths
But
unless maybe a basketball term, but I don't even hoop anymore. So like a lot of times I probably would have never crossed paths with none of these brothers unless we had this a little bit of a bubble of association that we have. So I, really appreciate the association when it comes to that. So how has it been for you coming into this particular group of of friends that we have?
man, it's crazy you say that because I was just thinking the other day, like, bro, I've been hooping with y'all for like I think I came in 2K22, I believe,
Yeah, I think
and
so.
we on 25 now.
Yeah,
So
been a
that's a
minute.
good 3 pushing 4 years that we've been hooping together. I'm like, bro, time is flying.
Yeah,
But it's been great, man. I definitely, like you said, got to meet a lot of new people that I know for a fact I never would have met. Things like that. The association always is the best part about it.
yeah,
Um, it's plenty of leagues and things like that worldly people do, but it's ain't nothing better than hooping with your brothers and
exactly.
things like that. So it's definitely been fun. Almost
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly. So let's talk about your upbringing a little bit. One thing I know I noticed about you is like you are super uber competitive, bro. I'm talking about. I thought I was bad, but I mean you're like next level. Like you don't forget things. Somebody could have said something 2 years ago, and
Yeah,
you're going to remember that. You're going
yeah,
to
yeah.
remember that. So, like, what about your upbringing that kind of made you have that competitive drive?
So I mean, so I'm born and raised from Baltimore. Just it's me, my dad, my mom, my sister. Growing up, they just had another baby about 4 years ago.
Wow.
Um, People be thinking that's my son, but that's not. But I mean, I didn't grow up with him because it's like a 22 age gap. So,
Ooh, man.
but it was just us four.
Yeah.
And my dad is like real heavy into sports. That's where I get my sports stuff from. Real heavy into basketball, real heavy into football, and he was like a super athlete. And actually, when I was a baby, when my mom was pregnant with me, he got offers to play overseas for professional basketball.
Okay.
But things didn't work out. Started to get learn the truth. My mom was pregnant with me, so he would have to leave her. He ain't want to do that. So he kind of, gave it all up for the famine over.
Yeah.
And so I just remember vividly growing up, like when my dad was like teaching me basketball, teaching me, because 2K, it always kind of started with just actual hooping at first. 2K didn't come until like I was in my teenage, like middle school years. But I vividly remember a group of brothers at my hall would get together. It was like 6 or 7 of them, and they would have tournaments, 2K tournaments in their crib.
Yeah.
And they would be playing for hours. And I was I was the only kid there. My dad was the first one to have a kid, so I was the only kid there. So I'm around all these grown men, and they just going at it. You feel me? Like just going at it. And I always wanted to play, but they never would let me play. They always would like try to be sunning me type stuff. So they would never let me play. And I remember it was 2K15 where I started like getting a little bit better. And I was like, yeah, it's time to challenge my pops. Because once my dad, he was everybody would have a year where they would quote unquote be the best and be whatever.
Yeah.
But my dad wasn't always the best, but he was always one of the best. So I was like, I know if I beat my dad, he gonna tell them and be like, all right, it's time for start letting him play.
Yeah.
So 2K15, I went to go challenge him. He was mopping the floor and he's still beating me. Beating me. And my father talked like when he start to talking and stuff, that joint be pissing me off.
Yeah.
So, but I realized it was just to make me better.
Yep.
So 2K16 came along. That's the one with had like Steph, Blake Griffin, and D Rose, someone to cover.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was about that game. It just clicked for me. And this is all play now. This ain't my career.
Yep.
Not like it's all play now. And I just got dumb nice on that game. I was just practicing. And I finally started beating on my father. And so then he invited everybody over, and I literally beat everybody that they was hooping with. And so that's kind of how like my competitive thing started, really from that. Because like I don't know, to me it's always just it makes it funner when it's the competitive juices flowing and things like that.
Yeah.
And it was just, I mean, that's the way my pops used to do me. Like, hey, you either going to get better from this or you just going to stay in the same place. So what you going to do about it?
Yeah.
So that's like my mentality on life, really.
Yeah.
So, but it has to be a balance, because I started to realize like a lot of the little like feuds and things I would get. I think it's harmless to me, but everybody don't really operate that way.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to I really be trying to dial it back a little bit. But it's like Greg, like I don't know if he was in the chat, like literally yesterday.
Oh yeah, I was there.
Greg was chirping that, but Greg one of them type people. He cut from that same cloth, so I can go. Me and Greg bounce off each other. We can go back and forth all day, but there's certain people that's not necessarily like that.
Right.
So, and me and him, literally like 20 minutes after that, we chop it up like nothing happened.
Oh, good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's so even me and you, we've done the same thing before. So it's it's just hoops.
Yeah. Hoops. I found that out about, and that's why I told Greg, because I met Greg right before you guys started coming in. It was probably maybe 2K20. No, 21, one of those, maybe 21. Yeah. And so same thing with him. Like I see how like him and Chris would go back and forth. And I never really interjected. I would go at JP. I may go at Chris a little bit because I knew him. But then like eventually like me and Greg started like going at each other, talking a little bit. And I was like, wait a minute, okay, so he can take it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then when I figured that out, because I'm like I'm not gonna go at everybody. I got to figure out. I learned that because kind of talking to you, kind of had a similar upbringing. Me was my dad. They were domino players, so go and play dominoes for hours, and I mean, massive talking. You know, and
Yeah.
these were worldly guys. So just imagine the stuff as a kid.
Yeah.
Like it was rough. You know, so for me, same thing. Like me and my cousins coming up, it was, you talk trash, but then like we could literally jump right off the court and we were good. And it wasn't until I got here in Talladega that I realized I couldn't do that with everyone because everybody is not, as you mentioned, cut from the same cloth or is brought up in that type of environment. So
Exactly.
it may be something that they may take wrong that you think like, dude, we just talking.
Yeah.
I'm just talking. So you got to be real careful for that. So okay. So it was you, your dad, your mom, your sister, and were you in like public school, private school, homeschool?
Yeah, no, public, man. So raised in the truth, but my peoples they wanted me to be in public, me and my sister. So yeah, was raised in public schools. I should say, not raised, but I was brought up in public schools. Like everything is close. I don't know how it is in Alabama, but everything is pretty close here. So high school was 20 minutes away, middle school 10, elementary 10. So everything relatively close. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So like if someone was to describe you, because if someone was to ask what type of person Bullock is, I haven't been around you in person, just in the chats, but you come off like pretty laid back, chill
Yeah.
until someone strikes you. Like that's one thing too. You never really started.
Yeah.
So you always just respond when it
Yeah.
goes there. So, but what type of person would they have described you as like in school coming up?
Um. So elementary school, I've always been the smallest dude in school when except when like my late years in high school. But coming in school, it was always like because I was the smallest, because I was with whatever, I kind of had to like prove myself when it came to sports and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think like that kind of also like fueled the competitive nature as well. But like really just chill. Like I swear I'd be cooling, just chill, fun, like the laugh, like the joke around. I used to get in trouble a lot for that, like talking during class and laughing with the guys and stuff like that. Um High school, I definitely everybody, all the dudes, no homo, but all the dudes like was cool with me, loved me type stuff because when we at the lunch table, we are arguing about sports.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's just how we roll. Like if you hang around me, like we talk about sports and we getting into debates about it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of was my vibe in high school. My high school was with a lot of other witnesses as well.
Oh.
So we kind of like protected each other and shielded each other from a lot of things that a lot of young people can fall into in middle school.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a protection for me. But yeah, man, just kind of grew up with the same folks that I still hang with as far as like here in state. We keep the same people around me.
Yeah.
Just chill, laid back, man.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Cool. So like, so you hoop too, right? So I know you
Yeah.
mentioned that you like to get to the midi. So I guess if you were to compare your game, or what comparisons have you heard, like other people? Because sometimes people will compare you to somebody.
I used to get compared to Russ when he was on the Thunder.
Yeah.
Like he had his like that crazy stop and
Stop,
pop, and
pull
he was
up.
like
Yeah.
real vertical
Yeah.
midi. That I try to be honest, I watch a lot of like Jalen Brunson videos, and I try to really model I love the way he plays. Like him and Devin Booker, like I love the way they play. But yeah, that's kind of the Russ and D Rose, but I don't really see it. I don't really see the D Rose too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm super fast.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where that they those comparisons
The
come from.
Russ came from. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So like just to kind of we're gonna switch the topic up a little bit. Got to know you a little bit about on the upbringing side of things. You
Mm-hmm.
just recently got married.
Yes, sir.
Married, you said a month and couple. I'm sorry, a year and a couple months or something
Yes,
like
sir.
that. Y'all
Yes, sir.
just hit y'all 1 year anniversary a few months.
August 19th.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when did y'all meet? Like how did y'all meet, and when did you know like okay, I think this the one?
So we met. So we met through a mutual friend. So her sister was friends with one of my boys, and he he was like talking to me like, man, I don't know if you know your camera or not, but he was talking to me like, bro, oh, hold on, I guess I'll wait.
He is. Go ahead.
Oh, you straight, you straight.
Go ahead.
um, so he was like hitting me up like, bro, it's the girl. He was cool with her. He was like, hey, bro, she got a sister. You trying to talk to her? At the time, I was like, bro, I'm not like I'm chilling. Like I was just trying to focus on myself, trying just focus on myself spiritually, money, like all that. Like I was just trying to lock in.
Yeah.
And so I was like, nah, I'm cool. Like, whatever. He's like, bro, I'm gonna just add you to this group chat that we in or whatever. We just be talking, chilling,
Right.
letter and things like that. Oh, all right, cool. I ain't got no problem with that. So he added me to the group chat, and we started like it was like a mixture of some guys and some girls, and we just started talking, like just having regular, natural conversations. And it was strictly friendship. I was like, bro, this girl's cool. Like, she cool.
Yeah.
So, long story short, they end up coming here. Her and her friend end up coming here, and just to hang out with me. And that was my first time meeting her in person. And I lied to you not. First time I saw her in person, I was like, oh yeah,
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
It's done, man. I was like, oh yeah, man. So after that, I literally have not stopped talking to her a day since the day I met her.
Wow.
So it just kind of grew into we was friends for like a little bit over a year, dated for 2 years, and then got married in like within a 6 month span.
Yeah.
So I've been knowing her for a little minute, but yeah, she good girl. She's from North Carolina, so it was a long distance relationship. That was probably our biggest thing to overcome. We get along so well, but the long distance thing, man, that joint,
yeah, I can't imagine that was like a coming up for me. That was like a almost like immediately like no go for me. Like if it was too long distance, I was just like, I'm not driving. I'm sorry.
Dude, 6 hour drives, man, every month.
Wow,
I was taking drives, man. So
that's rough.
Yeah,
but well worth it. Well worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, no, that's good to hear, man. I love hearing those stories about like how you meet your missus, your spouse, and also the compliment that they add to us too, man. It's like, so how has your life changed since then?
Man, this girl got me doing stuff. No, man, genuinely, like as far as like just like taking care of my body, taking care of and like little stuff, just like feeding me, keeping my head, like calming me down, like little things like that. It just goes such a long way. And like you said, truly a compliment. And I feel like, man, the wives don't get enough praise for this. They do. I can only imagine. You got kids, but I don't have kids yet. But I can only imagine, like when I see her in the motherly role and things like that.
Yeah. Whole
different type of appreciation.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, I definitely appreciate all the things that she done put me on to, and just like the little shows we watch and just all the little things. So definitely goes a long way.
All right, cool. So let me switch it up a little bit again. So music, You every time we're on, like
Yeah,
you got the vibes going. You got
yeah,
the
man.
vibes going. You got,
Yeah,
and what I can appreciate too is like a versatile taste.
yeah,
Because I'm not all into just one genre. Like I may mix it up. You may hear me play a little country. I may play a little rock. I mean, you just
yeah.
it depends on how I'm feeling that day.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
for you, like what influenced your musical taste? Because you're kind of similar. Like you're like all over the place.
Yeah. So okay. So my yeah, I gotta get into. Well, I give about 70% to my pops, 30% to my mom. So I remember me and my mom was just talking about this the other day. When I was coming up, only thing my mom would play in the car for me was Stevie Wonder. I don't know what it was, but I was just in, like, his music just did something to me. And this like 5, 6 years old, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Growing up, my dad always played music in the car. I used to get in trouble in elementary school because he was playing like all the love songs or whatever, like the Chris Browns and the Ushers and all that good stuff in the car. And
yeah.
I would go back to school and start singing to the girls. So they would get phone calls from school like, yo, your man taught me to
What?
sing love songs to elementary school girls. And so so music just was always played in the house on Saturdays after we come out from field service. Music blasting, just playing, vibing, cleaning the house.
Yeah,
So my dad was like real like he used to have this big old um like it was like a closet and it would be just full of CDs from literally top to bottom. So I used to have like a this was back when you could I forget what it's like I think it's just called a CD player where you just pop it open, you got the little headset and you put
yeah,
the CD in. So
yeah.
I used
CD
to
player.
run,
Yeah,
yeah, just run around stealing some stuff, trying to listen to music. And I think he caught me one time, and then it was raps from there.
yeah,
But that's really just kind of where it came from. And then when I got able to listen to kind of make my own sound that I would like to hear, that's when I started diving into the countries, the rock, the and my sister, she even like she listens to Japanese and all like she's all
Oh
over.
yeah. Oh, what's
You
that?
know?
K-pop. That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
K-pop. Yeah,
She
yeah,
getting to that. I'm not. I don't go that deep, but
yeah.
just as far as what I hear, if it sounds good, I like it. It's
Right.
just simple as that.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So,
yeah,
like, what would you say your favorite genre is, and your favorite artist of that genre?
R&B gotta be favorite like right now or all time.
Just all time, because I know that changes as the sound changes.
Yeah, yeah. It would have to be Usher. It would just have. I know too much of his stuff too. Like that's just the fondest memories in my
Yeah,
head.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Usher.
I
Yeah,
respect that. I respect that signs of a good upbringing right there. That
yeah,
signs of a good upbringing.
yeah,
Yeah, I respect that. No, because I'm with you on the Usher. A lot of times, like my favorite times is like me and my wife we go on long trips, and our musical choices is like we are right aligned with pretty
mm,
much everything outside of she's a huge Beyonce fan. I prefer Alicia Keys, but whatever.
yeah, yeah.
I'll listen to B if I need to, right? So, but like we go on these long trips, and the most that you're gonna hear is gonna be Usher, it's gonna be Trey Songz, it's
Yeah,
gonna be like you said, maybe a little. I entertained the Beyonce a little bit. I may throw
yeah,
it
yeah.
just to kind of appease her a little bit here and there, but mostly like the R&B jams, and then eventually, like as we got older, it was like we started hearing certain country artists, the Ed Sheerans of the world, Lil Dale. I mean, just if it sounds good, it's in the rotation. It's
Hey, why not? Why
it's in the
not?
rotation. So
Yeah,
like, so you're also into clothes
yeah.
as well. So you have your own clothing line. Tell the people what's the name of the clothing line?
Sir, Valari Toro.
Valar Toro.
Yeah.
Valar Toro. So I am going to pop this up real quick for the people at home or the people that are on YouTube here.
Yes,
This
sir.
is the website. Welcome to our store. It may look a little different on mine's. I think because of the accessibility piece that I have put in here. But this is the website here. So who are these people right here? Like, who are these?
Hey, that's me and my wife.
Oh, hey, I'm sitting here like, who are these people right here? First of all, love the jacket.
Hey, appreciate it.
Jacket is tough. The
Appreciate
jacket is tough. The jacket is tough.
it.
So like, so when did this happen? Like when did you
So
start
this started over COVID. I think a lot of people's businesses and ideas and things like that started over COVID. It was just as simple as me and my partner Johnny. This is it's Valari Toro is a two man business. It's
Yeah.
me and Johnny, and we would talk all the time. We would play 2K together and just be on the mic like, bro, what we doing, man? Like
Yeah.
we sitting here doing nothing. And honestly, our first idea was, yo, let's start a podcast.
Yeah.
But we was young, we were single. We felt like we couldn't really talk about the stuff we wanted to talk about.
Yep.
So we was like, man, how about we just do a clothing line? And at first he was like, so it really kind of stemmed from like, if you looked at my Instagram from the past, I love taking photo shoots, love dressing up, like that was kind of my thing. Like at first I kind of got clowned for it a little bit, but as time went on, I feel like people started like kind of copying the wave a little bit, but it's all love. But that's really kind of where it came from. And I was started like modeling for other people's brands. And I'm like, bro, why are we not doing doing all this work for other people? Why are we not doing this for ourselves?
Exactly.
So, the first hat, if you scroll up, the first hat we ever dropped was that one right there, the Spartan Green.
Yeah.
That one. That hat, man, we really didn't have a lot of them, but we wasn't able to even send that out to the public. Like when our families and friends saw it, it was gone. So wow. It was like, do we, we might actually have something here. And people was like, even to this day, people still ask for that hat.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, shoot, let's try to drop another one. And so it just started. It really kind of just started with hats. Johnny, I got into hats because of my brand. I really wasn't into hats at first, but I kind of got into hats because of my brand.
Yeah.
Dropped that red. We dropped the Valley Gold at the bottom, and then it just from there, it just kept going, and we started dropping shirts. We started dropping shorts.
Yeah.
Our latest drop is that zip up that you saw in the picture. Yeah. We just dropped those a couple months ago. The blue one is coming. This coming spring.
That's tough.
But yeah, man, we just that's really where it started from. Just talking and was like, hey, let's do it. I did so much research on this, on like finding vendors and our spent, just trying to get the right product. It's still a work in progress, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
But that's how I started.
No, but I can appreciate it, man. And it looks good. And tell me the website again where people can find it.
So Valari X Toro, VOLARE XTORO.
.com.
Yeah.
Yep. So if you have not, guys, go and find it. Go get your hat, go get your jacket. I gotta go get mine. I haven't got mine. And to be honest with you, like I know I think Chris got a hat, and I seen Bryant posted a hat. And at first I was like, I seen the Virginia Tech. I'm like, what? I'm just being honest. I'm like, what's the
a lot of people have said that. It's so Valari Toro is actually it means fly bull in Italian. So Johnny Fly. Bullock, bull.
Got it.
Put it together. That's all it is.
Yeah, love it. That's very inventful, and so I like that. So like, I'm getting mine. Mine's is coming soon. You'll see my name come across the board.
Okay.
So like, let's jump into 2K, man. Let's jump into 2K, man. This is what the people want here, man.
What the people want.
This is what the people want.
This is what they're going to fast forward to.
Yeah. So I don't care about all this, man.
Yeah.
What are you about to say about the career? That's what I'm
Okay.
Oh, man. So,
I'm going to give it up, too.
Yeah. So I'm going to start from the beginning. Charm City. Like, so that was the first team that you happened to play on when coming into the league. And for people who don't know, we're a part of the league, ZBL, which also ventured into a little, MMA. I always like to just call it the league because it's just like everything ventured, but it's all still the same.
It still should be one league, but that's another conversation.
Yes, yeah. There we go. We'll work on that. So like to me, it's just it all started with it was during the pandemic. Same thing, like we're all in the house, more time spent in the house. The next thing you know, we're on the games. We're playing different games and we just want to find brothers. We'll see brothers at conventions and be like, "Hey, what's your game of tag?" Trying to just really not even think about no league. We just wanted to play amongst our brothers,
Right.
And so next thing you know, that turned into what we see today. So like Charm City, what was you expecting? Was it anything like what you were when you first heard about it? Oh yeah, we're doing a league. Was it what you thought it was going to be, or was it more?
Nah. So when I first joined the league, I really honestly I did not know a lot about it. I genuinely that first season I played, I was legit just loading. I didn't check the chat. I didn't check the group me, nothing.
Yeah.
Brian would be like, "Yo, we got a game at this time. Can you play?" And I would boot up. That it was just as simple as that. So Brian just was telling me, yeah, like, this is what it is. But I didn't know nothing. You feel me? So I would say if anything, it's probably more than what I expected.
Yeah.
And after that first season, I think literally I didn't start checking the chat till after we won the chip. Like legit, I kind of wanted to see what everybody was gonna say.
Yeah.
And then it just started. I saw some of the baby sats and all this other stuff.
Yeah, which I'm about to go into that. I'm about to go into that.
Yeah.
So before we get there, what was so special? Because I think that Charm City team doesn't get mentioned enough. Everybody always mentioned, South Beach, and now they mention the Raptors, team you were just on, as far as like one of those GOAT teams. But Charm City to me was like tough.
Yeah.
So what was so special about that team?
Think about this. You got prime set. Like John. I know they gave him props then, but John didn't get enough credit for what he was doing. Like, we was not practicing, we was not nothing. He was just booting up and dropping 40 and 10, legit.
Yeah.
And some of it was because y'all never seen that style of play. I'll give that, but still, like, that's like,
it was crazy. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
So you got prime set. You got me where I was just 3-and-D. Like, I would get the ball here and there, work but that wasn't really I was just be open, get yourself done. That was it.
Yeah.
And you got Johnny. Johnny was still the spot up he is, still play his role, play good defense, high IQ player. Ryan and Rex. Rex also was a knockdown that 2K as well. So it was like you really couldn't leave nobody. And I think the best part about that team was it was just no ego, bro. It was just fun. Like, we were just in the chat, laughing, having fun. 2K didn't seem like a chore. It was just fun, good energy, good vibes. So I don't think that team will ever work today because the league has changed so much. But I do think that team to me changed the league. John and me later, changed the graphic of the league. So that's why
Yeah.
I give props to that team for.
Yeah, I agree with that. The play, because Sat had people that and then the crazy thing is he did all that, then left.
Mm-hmm.
Like he didn't even play it next season, so
Yeah.
to get their get back. You had
Yeah.
people making bills to counteract what he was doing, which is
Yeah.
something that we'll talk about you, because you're now doing that now.
Mm-hmm.
People are trying to create these bills. We gotta stop.
Yeah.
We gotta stop them, but we're gonna talk about that later. So like. Babysat, you mentioned it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like that was probably after y'all won, because you're gonna get your man. Listen, I know from experience, my MMA championship. Well, I'm talking about it was so much hate that was coming through the chats. It was like, whoa, you couldn't even see the love through the hate.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So like,
It's what comes with it.
yeah, it comes with it. It comes
Yeah.
with it. So it's like, so for you, I remember the babysat comments. Like they were coming in heavy, So like, and that was when you really started to actually, you're right, talk more. Because
Yeah.
before then, you weren't really in the chats like that. So how did that fuel you going into season 2? Because season 2, you were about to become the guy. Like you were about to like say it sat left. So now it's just you. So how did that fuel you going into season 2?
So one thing that I about John, I always appreciate him for. He never let them get away with calling me that. He always would be like, "Yo, I'm gonna be real. Ajonte can do everything I can do. Y'all just ain't seen it yet." He's always said that from day one. I appreciate him for that, but at the same time, I'm like, man, these niggas, man, I ain't gonna say that.
Just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going.
I'm like, these dudes, man, I'm like, bro, they really don't know me. And that I'm like that season before we won a chip, that was my first time playing pro ever.
Yeah.
Ever. I'm a park guy. Like that was, we used to boot up in the park for hours, 2K20. I used to have tournaments with the brothers here, 8 teams or whatever.
Yeah.
And we would do tournaments. Like it would be like a whole weekend tournament of just 3v3. So I never touched 5v5, never touched the rec. That wasn't my thing. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So it took a learning curve because it's a lot less space to work with and all those other things. But it obviously, you know me, it fueled me. It made me like, okay, I got something to prove now.
Yeah.
And I think that next season it was me. It was just, I swear it was, oh no, I ain't gonna say that. It was me, Little Bird, M. Will, Rex, and Johnny. And me, Johnny, obviously everybody was hooping, but Little Bird was my second option a lot of the times.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I don't know if they forget or what, but Little Bird was a bucket.
He was going in.
He genuinely could get his own shot, all that. He was a bucket.
Yeah.
And that season I was putting up the same type number Sat was putting up. You feel me?
Yep.
It was, but I didn't win the chip.
Yeah.
And I remember after that season, this is what really fueled me. It wasn't even the fact that I lost, because I knew that team was overall, that was a very well constructed team. Like,
yeah, but y'all, that's South Beach, because y'all lost against South Beach in the finals, right?
Yeah, South Beach.
That team talent wise was better than y'all.
Yeah. We shouldn't have even, like, all our games was close. I pulled up screenshots like some months ago. Every game went down to like the last couple buckets of the game. So it was literally like we shouldn't even really been in those games. And Petty was just so nobody could guard him, like legit. Nobody had the bills to match up with Petty.
Yeah, Petty was crazy.
So I remember, and Josh will deny this. He will deny this to this day. But I vividly remember in my head, it was the beginning of 2K23 because they won the last chip of 22.
Yep.
It was the beginning of 2K23, and this is like my first couple times starting to come into the PSN chats with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally booted up. I came in there, and Josh was talking crazy. He just beat me in the finals.
Yeah.
He was talking crazy. Like, I'm talking like, yo, that's why we swept, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I didn't even know, like, I'm not trying to be paid. I genuinely didn't know, because I didn't know who he was. So I'm texting John like, yo, I'm sending his PSN like, yo, who is such and such? Like, who is this person? And John was like, oh, that's Josh. He was like, he was, because at the time John was in the chats, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. I was like, okay, he got his joint for now. There's nothing I really say, but I'm like, all right, he coming at me. I respect it. So, that's kind of,
that makes sense though that you bring that up with Josh. That's why, like, because you be going at Josh now, like you give it back to him. Like, it makes so much sense.
I'm done with I promise you, I'm done with the Josh feud for now on. I don't have no like it is what it is. And honestly, it ain't nothing personal.
No.
But yes, I always have time for Josh. Always. Always. No, but Josh, I can tell, like, Josh hoop IRL. And it's the same thing IRL. Like, when you got somebody that's like, that is competitive and you feel like you better than, you gonna come for them.
Oh yeah.
Simple as that. And like, and to me, it's like I said, it's the same thing IRL. Like, he feel like he the greatest. I feel like I'm the greatest. So we gonna butt heads.
Yeah, I mean, that's the part of it. That's the competition part of it.
So but that's where the whole thing stemmed from. Like, he gonna deny it, but that's what.
So I remember this. So this was your first season with and one of those games Sat missed. Kind of like what happened in the Raptors, like you was out of game, and so it allowed other guys to kind of like step up. So like this was close to the end of the season, and going into the game. And also, Yunko was a part of y'all squad too, and then he drop off, and Sat all of a sudden something for that particular game couldn't play. So we were like, we're trying to make the playoffs, right? So we're trying to get on a little run. We like, okay, cool, man. Sat ain't there. They ain't got the same defensive squad. I said, the two guard that they got, he tough, he nice, but he ain't. We good. And like that game, like off the pick and roll, that when you said about Sat saying that you can do the same things, same stuff, and we're like, wait a minute, like, no, he ain't gonna hit that. It was certain, and then it was in the fourth quarter, right? It was a fourth quarter shot. You probably won't remember it, but it was one of those shots as you pulled it, because I think somebody got an offensive glass, kicked it back out. You ran around the screen, and it was like, we talk about all the time. Is he like that? As soon as you pull, is he like that? Green. It was like, oh, we never the game. And I said, okay, actually, maybe a lot better than what we see. Because I mean, even with Sat, you still average like probably 18, 20 points a game. Sat was averaging 30, So I mean, that team was crazy. So, but jumping from that, let's go into like your second ring. I wasn't there for that season. I think I was more in the MMA side of things. But tell me how was that compared to your first time winning?
So like I said, I don't think you can, like, one thing I give about this league, and that the reason why I feel like I've been playing for so long, this league adjusts no matter what. Like, they might be, but I feel like slowly but surely the league is catching up to actual 2K comp style, like how comp style is being played. So when we first came into the league, everybody running around, everybody moving. But now I feel like it's slowly but surely everybody's kind of catching on. Like, okay, this is how we. So after, like you said, after those first two seasons that I played, that of 2K22, 2K23 rolls over, and like I said, the play style started to change a little bit. And I didn't win that chip until the end of 23, but it was a free agency. So everybody was able to pick their team or whatever. And I mean, I feel like a lot of people knocked it at first, or they put it as a knock on me, the fact that I've had such great teams. But at the same time, it's one. Lord have mercy. At the same time, it's one of them things. It's like I feel like I know what it takes to win. I know what teams is needed in order to win.
Mm-hmm.
So that team was me, Stat, Tyler Coleman, Austin, and my boy Breezy. And I was at the point. Tyler Coleman at the 2. Tyler Coleman was my second option.
Yeah. Lights
John,
out.
John was on lock. I think he won DPOY that year too. And then Austin was at the 4, and then Breezy was at the 5. And that it was just a well-rounded team, man. Like up until that point, that was probably the best team I played on. Our defense, our team name was Lockdown. Like prided ourselves on defense. John spearheaded the way.
Yeah,
he was top. I was at the I was up top with him, and we were just clamping, man. Like I don't even feel like I was. I think I won MVP that season. I genuinely can't remember, but it was just defense. Like I wasn't efficient. To me, my stand, I wasn't efficient. I wasn't. It was just a very well-rounded team. Like very well-rounded. I give my props to Austin because he bought in. Yeah. Austin was the quote-unquote LeBron at that time of the league. Yeah. So he didn't have to come play with me, but he chose to. Like, yo, let's do it. Let's make it work.
Yeah.
And Tyler Coleman, I had played with him the season before with Bryant, and I was like me. It was legit. It was just me and him. A lot of times people wasn't even showing up 5 games and stuff. It was just me and Tyler. I was like, oh, Tyler got some dog in him, man. So yeah. We started playing, and that was that.
So
I played. We played Terrence, Chris, Yo, Denarius, and Cody in that finals.
Yeah. So that was your second ring. Also, Austin's second ring too at that time. So during this time frame between your entrance into the league and to your second win, like who to you was like your biggest competition? Who were you looking at like, man, that's the guy that I know I'm gonna see at some point?
At the time it was Terrence. At the time, because Terrence had, so that was 2K23. I played 3 seasons. The first chip Terrence had won.
Yeah.
And that team, they had a crazy team as well. But I mean, I don't. That we'll talk about that later. But that people kept talking like the Terrence and Bullock comparisons for some reason. I know why. I know why they was doing it, but it just kept being. They wasn't talking about Austin or nothing. It was just really Terrence.
Yeah.
And Terrence was hooping. He was definitely hooping. But yeah, at the time it would be Terrence, because I think he beat me. Well, we didn't make it to the final, but he won the one, and then I won the last one. So
right. Yeah. So I remember when Terrence first came in, it was him, TJ, all of them. He gonna be mad at me because I cannot think of the name of the team that they were on.
It was
but they're one of
high range. High range.
High range. There you go. Okay, that's right. So, but they were one of those teams that can go up on that, almost that list of one of the best teams that was constructed. That team was defensively crazy, nightmares. Defensively in the lanes, Cody was crazy, and then Terrence was just, that comp style playing, just, crazy. So then we can kind of keep going down the line, and just here recently, or at least towards the end, there was a little bit of a lull there because ZBL kind of, faded away, and then the MMA thing. But of course, you were, handcuffed out of they had the dogs up and the iron and all that stuff. So, but like then everybody got back together and the Raptors were created. How? I don't know. Really, really don't know. To
Yeah.
me, the Raptors, I'm gonna ask you and then I'll tell you my viewpoint.
Mm.
Like, how do you feel like your Raptors season, like how would you rank that as one of your better seasons? Like, what do you think? Was that one of your better seasons? Where would you rank it at? That
Yeah.
rap?
So I will roll back just a little bit.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
so all right. So 20. That's 2K. That's last 2K. So 24.
Yeah,
Um. So I lost the first championship to Keyshawn.
yep,
Right. And after that, like you said, it was a big old break because everybody had went over to MMA. And I'm talking, it was like months. Like it was just a long, long break. And during that break, I was like, bro, I literally have nobody to play with. I have nothing. I can't. So I started. I had to reach back out to the to worldly players or whatever. So I found this group of guys that they would do these tournaments every day. It would start like 9 to 10 a.m. And I'm talking like these dudes, like locks that play in the 2K league. Like
yeah,
these, literally some of the best 2K players in the world. And they was mopping the floor with me, bro. Like I was like, bro, I'm not who I think I am. Like that.
yeah, yeah,
But slowly but surely, iron sharpened, and I just started picking up stuff, started learning things about the game, and like I'm like,
yeah,
okay, okay. And then by the end of that, I ended up being like it was like 500 people in that Discord, 500 people. I was like the top 3 point guard by the end of it.
yeah,
So like that really got me to like that's when I learned how to crab and all that
yep,
good stuff. That got me to a different level. So by the time that the Raptors team got formed, I'm like, bro, Yo had already hit me up when he realized he had the number 1 pick. And everybody's like, he ain't grabbing, but he ain't grabbing. I just stayed
yeah,
quiet. Because I know Yo has said some things in the past, like me and his play style don't fit and things like that. But I think just game recognized game. I
yeah,
think Yo he was like he want to win. At the end of the day, he was tired of losing. He
yep,
was he wasn't getting over that hump. I mean, he had won in the MMA the
MMA,
season before,
yeah,
but I think everybody it's different. It's a little different in the ZBL, just a little bit. But I'm not discrediting his chip or nothing like that. But I'm just saying. So he hit me up and he was like, "Bro, who you want to play with?" So I gave him a dream list, like I don't think this is gonna happen, but a dream list, and every single player fell where tours, and
which
we
is
was like,
crazy.
bro, like, huh? And people would sleep on Martin. Martin was really the X factor of that team because Martin, I had started bringing Martin around a little bit to those comp games that I was playing. So I seen
Okay,
operating in them games. I was like, and he like real, he young, so he like, kiddie or whatever. Sometimes
yeah,
it was time for them comp games. He was serious. Like he was listening to play call, all that stuff. So I'm like, oh, I can work with that. I can
yeah,
work with that. So that season, I don't know, man. I was locked. I just
yeah,
was
yeah,
locked.
yeah.
Like
It was
when you get on a team like that, and this is why the art when people were saying he only plays on good teams and things like that. There's been a lot of guys that's played on really good teams. We can go down the
yeah,
list later.
really can.
There's been a
Yeah,
lot of guys that's been on quote unquote super teams
yep,
that have not won.
yeah,
So I feel like when I get on teams like that, it almost makes me lock in even more because it's like, like I know this is just the virtual basketball, but
yeah,
you don't know when your window is gonna close. Like
yeah, yeah,
I'm getting a little bit towards the tail end of mine, so I'm like I'm
yeah,
trying to collect as many as I can.
yeah, yeah,
So I'm like, I hated that narrative that was getting thrown around that I only have played for good teams. That's the reason why I was winning. But at the same time, it's like, man, we did that through a draft. Like
yeah. No, yeah.
that's my fault.
That's
That's
captain's fault. Yeah, I say it all the time. I was like, that's the captain's fault. Whoever thought it,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and
Kyle
allowed
was
Cal.
lost.
Kyle, man.
Come on.
That just come on, man.
Come on.
Come on, man. Like,
So
yeah, the Mar thing is one thing I could see how he probably fell through the cracks, but the Kyle thing,
yeah, that's
can't get that.
blasphemy.
Still can't get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Raptors to me, that was that season for me where even I was like, okay, I can't. I think I even said, I'm not allowing any more Bullock like trash talk when it come about being a point guard.
Yeah.
It's not to mention, I had one of my boys over there, JP, who was telling me even like, the just behind the scenes like conversation that he had with you, because initially you was kind of hesitant to play with him because of the narratives that you heard, right?
Yeah.
But you opened up the doors, he bought in, and the great thing about that I loved about it was that you used them. Like it wasn't like, man, he's over there. You there was games where he had 22, whereas games where he had all he needed to do was do his job, knock the shot down, make the right play, make the right read. I got you.
Yep.
And to me, it was like, okay, that's the type of point guard
Yeah.
that you want to play for. So I'm like, you know what? Nope, nobody else is gonna be talking. Like if I'm in the chats and y'all saw he ain't no true point, nope, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. That
Yeah.
Raptors season to me was like, okay, you can't really say anything about the point guard, but you still can say, even though it was a draft, that team was stacked.
Oh, for sure.
Which then takes me to Syracuse, right? Because that Syracuse was like, what are they gonna say now? Like that's one of them. What are they gonna say now? Like that to me, it was like, okay, team stack, okay, whatever, blase blah. I played with Sat, blase blah. Everybody had a fair shake in the draft. You had teams that was loading up, trying to build super teams and all these different things. And Syracuse made it to the end, and it wasn't even close. I mean, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. Like it wasn't. Once y'all figured it out, which didn't take long, it wasn't even close. So, like, what is it about your mindset that bleeds into these teams? Because Keyshawn, same thing, and I'm gonna get into the unfinished business thing with him too.
Yeah.
Like, what is it about you that bleeds into these teams and guys buy in?
Honestly, I think so before season starts, I like to talk to everybody. I like to talk to 1 through 5, kind of get everybody's input or whatever. But now I think like because I've won as many as I've won, people just kind of like, yo, what style of basketball you trying to play? So I kind of I'll have an idea in my head, and honestly, Syracuse, how I really like to run it is I worry about the offense. I'm the point guard on the offense, and somebody else can be the point guard on the defense. Like that's my ideal way of running it. But with Syracuse, we had George who never won a chip, Uzi that never won a chip. Keyshawn had won one, but me and him, we couldn't win together for some reason. And then Johnny, Johnny just going Johnny wherever he go. I swear he played the same every 2K.
Yeah.
So we kind of had an interesting nucleus that we kind of had to figure out how each other work. When it comes to like scheming and just the plays and the all that, I don't want to take credit, but a lot of that comes from like I watch a lot of comp, and I kind of see what works. And honestly, like they put in George had put in some plays, Keyshawn had put in some plays, solid like playbook or whatever on offense. And if it works, it works. And we will run it. Like I'm not opposed to any input or any whatever. We had some plays with Uzi, and I never play like this. Uzi was posting up. That's not my.
Yeah.
But I have to, in order to win, I have to utilize this person's skills. Just what you said about the JP. I don't know what it is. JP can knock that. If you got JP in a corner, he gonna hit about 8 or 10 of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I see the skill. I have to find a way to put each person in their best position.
Yep.
Even back to Yoke. Yoke really taught me a lot. I always thought that there was only one way to win. And Yoke moves a lot. He likes to
Yeah.
move. So I said, look, I'm gonna tell you which side I'm gonna be on. If you want to roam in your little area, we can make it work. I'll
Yeah.
make it work. And we was making it work. Like
Yeah.
every time. Sometimes I tell look, yo, hey, but for the most part, he was really doing what he wanted to do.
Freelancing. Yeah.
Free, but it kept the defense true. A lot of times when everybody's sitting and watching, I had to learn. It makes it easier to guard me. If you just got to worry about them guys just being cones, that
Yep.
makes it easier to focus in on me. I want to make it harder to focus in on me.
Mm-hmm.
So that uh, them first two games for Syracuse, we lost, and we had man, it got bad. It got bad. Our locker room. I don't think it was like because the games were so close. We knew we were better than them, or we were better than what we were playing, but we was just like, bro, like, why are we losing these games like this?
Yeah.
We sat down maybe for like almost 2 or 3 hours, man, and we just watched film, watched those games back, and we was just like, okay, this is what we was doing here. This is what hey, I want you here. I want you to slip there. George, you hedging a little too hard. Just little things like that. And once I realized, I was like, okay, because I saw how heated things had gotten, I was like, oh, these dudes want to win.
Yeah.
If I got 1 through 5 that wants to win,
Yep.
I can work. I can work with that.
Yep.
Even if your skill ain't, with it, whatever, I can work with it. I can give you a jump shot. I can tell you the best animation. I swear I play this game too much.
Yeah.
I know, but
Yeah.
that as long as the IQ part of it, and you willing to learn or whatever, we can work.
Mm-hmm.
I work with that. So, that Syracuse team, that's probably my favorite chip. Syracuse is my favorite chip because just what we had to overcome, and then the defense. I think at first we had Johnny on ball, and Johnny's a great defender, but a lot of times I take Johnny in comp with me, and he's used to guarding those type of point guards. And not saying that the guys in the league aren't comp, but a lot of the guys in the league I call it playing weird. Like it's like they don't play your normal quote unquote left right.
Yes. Yeah.
They do a little bit more. And I literally I study everybody's game. I know everybody's tendencies. I know everything everybody want to do. I know what spot they want to get to. I know all that. So I'm like, just put me on ball. Just put me on ball. And the defensive rotations we wanted to run, me and Keyshawn was on the same page. So I was like, just put me on ball. Just trust me. I ain't got no steal. I only got a 70 perimeter and a 70 interior, but we gonna make it work. I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
Sure enough, that's what we ran. And Keyshawn, I mean, that's my dog. Like that's my dog IRL. Like I've been knowing him for years. But
yeah.
he different. Like on that power forward stuff, man, he's different.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's different. Like
yeah.
tip my hat off to him. George was freaking knocked down when we needed him to be. Uzi, a lot of games was my second option.
Yeah.
Like Uzi was hooping. Johnny figured out his shot when we needed him to.
Yeah.
And it was curtains from there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I talked about this. Maybe I talked about this on the pod. Like how dialed in certain players are. Like I always say that there's more to 2K than just playing 2K. Like more, but there's also you can't take your outside. Like for me, I have, at least I feel, my personal opinion, I have outside, I played ball, so I have basketball IQ, but that's not enough. Like you gotta have like 2K logic too.
Yeah.
So best players are the ones that have both, and the even better players, the greater players are the ones that are locked in to say, you know what, if I'm going to devote this time to a league, why not watch film?
Yeah.
Why not have plays? Because I've played with guys because I'm always usually a role player. So I've played with some, guys who say that they're one of them ones.
Mm,
And I know how they are in the locker room, how
mm,
dialed in they are. The ones that just, like you said, load up, like you were season one,
mm.
pull up and hoop. And then the ones that are actually trying to, hey, what are we doing wrong here? Go watch this. I need to put you here. Like there's only certain guys that are doing it. And those are the ones now that you can see that are separating themselves,
Yeah.
the competition. So like for you, you mentioned Syracuse was your favorite chip. That was actually something that I was going to ask you to rank your chips.
Mm.
So to you, Syracuse was the better one, for you, the most important one because
Yeah.
of the things that you had to overcome.
Mm.
Tell me the other ones and then why, like where were you at that moment and how did you feel about the significance of that ring?
Yeah. So it probably, so if I was to put it in order, it'd probably be the order in most recent. I know that's boring, but so it would go Syracuse, it would go Raptors, it would go Lockdown, and then it would go Charm City.
Okay.
And Syracuse, I feel like was is he who he think he is? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Uh, like like everything everybody had Yo had a team to beat us. Austin definitely had the team to beat us.
Yeah.
And it's like I can't even explain, but it's like despite all that, it still come down to we loading up and I'm not losing. I don't like to lose. I don't
Yeah.
want to lose.
Yeah.
And I feel like and just the fact that like Kyle has 3 chips, I got 4 now. That that's always a great
Yeah.
little.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So now that's how I feel about Syracuse. Raptors was more. I feel like that, like between this Syracuse and that Raptors season, like my efficiency went up so much, and that was really my biggest gripe about myself. I felt like I knew I could score, and I feel like everybody knows I can score, but can I score efficiently? Can
Yeah.
I can I be able to still do both at the same time, score and set my teammates up?
Mm-hmm.
And that's to me that's the hardest skill in the game. Like being able to run an offense, but still be able to look at you and get yours.
Yeah.
And I feel like I kind of had not mastered, but I had really like started to understand that with Raptors. I mean, they made it easy too. Like I had all knock. No, you can't leave nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my third one. My second one for Lockdown. I'm gonna be real. That one was just beating Terrence. That was my highlight. That was my highlight, man.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it was some talks. It was some talks, and I don't think there shouldn't be no more talks now. But at
Yeah.
the time, it was some talks, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So, but like even still, I don't like how I think I won. I won MVP, and I think I won Finals MVP. But I don't like how I played. Like I really can look back and like I look at my numbers, and it just was not efficient ball. Like that's really my mind. Like gotta be efficient. And
Yeah.
in the first season, probably my I might switch Lockdown in that one. Because my first season was probably my funnest because I just was it was just so carefree. And I was just spotting up. And that like low key, I want to get back to that. I don't think I'll be able to, but I want to get back to that just spotting up and I can work in a coffin. I don't need a lot of space. I can get to my spots, and
Yeah.
that's kind of how I want to get back to 3 and D.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably how I rank them.
Yeah. So I mean, you do get to that point where you want to challenge yourself.
Yeah,
I'm nowhere near your caliber player, but like everybody said, oh, why don't you play center more? Why don't you play center more? To me,
mm-hmm.
I'm always trying to pick up a new challenge of like, okay, center, I know what I can do there. Power
Mm-hmm.
forward, okay. Let me try guard. I mean,
Yeah,
people may not like it, but I paid $75. Hey man, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
your career. This is your
Yeah,
career.
Exactly. Don't I care less about that. I want to have fun while playing the game, right? So for you, challenging yourself is to me what separates you from a lot of people too, of not being satisfied, not being satisfied with the quote unquote. So I want to get into unfinished business. That's what I kept hearing that in the chats, like unfinished business, unfinished business. That's you, Keyshawn. Like, so it didn't surprise me that you guys didn't run it back. Because even though it was almost like playful banter in a sense, like, yeah, man, hey man, like I got to get you back on that one. Like even though that was playful banter, it felt like there was some underlying very serious stuff about that, right? So like for the people who don't know, like what is it? What's the rivalry with you and Keyshawn? Like what's going on? What's the undermining thing there with you guys?
Um, I so so me and Keith. So I feel like same thing as it always is. It ended up being just game respected game. I think Keyshawn is amazing at the game. Like genuinely, he DPOY. Uh, he I played him. I literally played him yesterday. He low key burnt me up. Like just spotting up,
Yeah.
And like he's great, man. He's really great. But um, I think with him, so kind of where it started from, and honestly, in all honesty, we had planned to run it back. That was our initial plan.
Yeah.
It was going to be me, Keyshawn, and Gloomy Word, and we was just gonna have that be the nucleus and figure everything out. But then they did a point system. They did that on purpose. They made it so we can't play with each other.
Yeah.
And Keyshawn had sent me the text message, and he was like, "Yo, you cost too much." Blah blah blah. So I sent him a meme back, like you doing this to me, like man.
Yeah.
So I get it. You choose a point guard. Your point guard is your most important position.
Yeah.
And I think besides me, not to be boastful, but besides me, I think Gloomy is the next best option. Hey, to be honest, Gloomy can do what I can do. I'm not even going to. He Gloomy is like that. He really is. But and they beat me the beginning of 24. That version of me versus now is two totally different people,
Yeah.
but at the same time, they got one up on me.
Yeah.
So, hit up Uzi, all the captains except I think James didn't hit me up. I think James is the only captain that didn't hit me up. All the other captains reached out, try to see what we could do.
Yeah.
And Uzi made the most sense to me. Me and him had just won a chip. I know what Uzi brings to the table. He shouldn't have been 2 points. I mean,
Yeah.
It's not my fault. Like people, it's not my fault. Like what else am I supposed to do?
Yeah. I mean, so, take what's given.
Take what's given. So, had made a couple phone calls. Me and John already was kind of in talks. We never really spoke on playing together, but he just kept talking about like where he wanted to go and what role he wanted to play.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, why not? Like, and Martin, wanted to run with me. So yeah, that's just how that came about. And then with Keyshawn, it's just that like I said, I know Keyshawn IRL, so it's a little different. Like I can mess with him, but he competitive. He competitive, man. He's very competitive, and like the difference with Keyshawn though, y'all got peep game. He only runs with his boys.
Yeah.
It's the only time he gonna feel like he can. You feel me? Even if five, do the same thing. If he don't feel like his team is good enough, he won't be like, oh, I'm about to get on rivals, So I know him, bro. That's why I'm on his bull because he be doing that all the time.
Yeah.
And look, man. Hey, you need gloomy word and brutal word and all the words you need them. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but. So, but yeah, it's not. I wouldn't even say it's a rivalry. I just think it's just, that's just my dog, and we go back and forth. But
yeah.
Yeah.
competitive. I love it. I can't wait to see what happens, man. Like those, and it's more teams than y'all too, but of course,
Yeah.
y'all
James.
team stood out to me as like as soon as like the announcement started coming off the shelf, it was like whoa, like wow, Uzi, and then James too,
Yeah.
and I love that team just because Petty, Kyle, Josh, B Ross, and we all like B Ross is to me one of those underrated guys too.
Yeah. For
Um,
sure.
of like just I mean, all guys that will James, well, all those guys will buy in. So now they just got to find a proper playing style. Everybody got to be in their right positions, and they're
Yeah.
going to be a pretty tough out too.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how they make out. I like that team. I just gotta see what a point guard is really. That kind of determines a lot
That's
for me.
important.
Everybody can really kind of play wherever or just fill in, but that point guard position is gonna be what
Yeah,
makes it.
make or break. That's gonna be the make or break because they got a bunch of people that can play center over there. Matter of fact, all five of them can play center.
Literally.
But then point guard wise, who's going to do that? So now we're gonna get into like a few games, right?
All
Few
right.
games. First game we're gonna play name association. Name
Okay.
association. So I'm gonna say a name, and it's gonna
Mm.
be the first thing that comes to your mind. First thing that comes to your mind. Matter of fact, I may do. We'll say more. No more than 2 words. No more than 2 words. No more than 2 words. So first thing that come to mind. All right, I'm gonna throw some names at you. Yo,
Um, utility knife.
Keyshawn,
Uh, lanes.
Greg,
A couple of days that came to my mind, but I'm not calling him Braun. I'm not.
hey, you about to say run.
um,
Oh man.
uh, hard hit it.
Say it again.
Hard hit it.
Brian.
What's a word? What's a word that like what's a synonym for something like that that's holding you back? Like you're your own worst enemy.
Or saying,
Yeah.
we're just gonna take that.
Yeah.
We're gonna take that. Martin. Oh, and Bryant. That self-sabotage. We'll say that.
Self
Self-sabotage.
sabotage.
Yeah.
Self
Yeah.
sabotage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Martin.
Um, Martin. Martin. Prodigy.
Mm. Mm. Gloomy.
Um. Uh, I don't really got enough for Glimmy. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, tell him load up.
Yeah, yeah. I see him soon.
Load up.
Yeah,
Wavy. Chris.
Chris. Chris. Um, I think over. Well, I'm not overhated. I think he's overhated just a little bit.
Austin.
Should have been the GOAT.
Terrence.
Um, uh, I don't think his heart in it.
JP.
Underrated.
Kyle.
Um, favorite teammate.
Uzi. Speaking of teammates.
uh dog.
Dog. Sat.
Um uh I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Come back to Sam.
All right. Next one is babysat.
Was never. Was never.
But after that, now Ajonte. Ajonte.
That's
Coined by Chris. Wavy.
Hey man. Hey, I leave it to the people to decide. But when it's all said and done, I mean, I don't feel like nobody is gonna do what I've done at the point guard position. Like even if let's say Kyle gets the 5, I mean, that would be crazy. Actually, not. Yeah, I don't think nobody would be able to do what I've done at the point guard position for this many 2Ks. I don't see it.
Across the board, yeah.
So,
which then takes me to the next thing here. So I'm gonna add this to my next guest as well, because now we have so many seasons where you can actually start gathering, information to say, conclusively like, okay, this is where this guy should be. Mount Rushmore. Now I'm gonna go ahead and your name is plastered there, right? You ain't even got to say it for yourself. I'm saying it for you. Like it's plastered there.
Yeah.
Who else is beside you and why?
And it's
3.
4.
Yeah. So 3 more.
Kyle for sure. I mean, it just blows my mind the disrespect he continues to get. Like,
crazy.
He is the best center in the league.
Yeah.
Like, and not it. He's just such a plug and play. And no knock to Uzi, no knock to Chris, no knock to nobody else. It's just I play with him, and I see what he can do when his team is right and all that. But I mean, Uzi got disrespect too. But I just had to, because that's my team. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, Kyle, the truth, man. Kyle, the truth.
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore means all time. Man, Austin would be on there. He really, really would. He's been to the most finals out of anybody.
Yeah.
And with some of the teams that he's taken to the finals, I don't even know if I could have done he just can't get over the hump in the finals.
Yeah. LeBron, man. Like, hey, he's the LeBron.
Yeah, he's the real bro.
Yeah, he's the real LeBron. Yeah.
I'm gonna just because this is Mount Rushmore, I'm gonna have to put Petty. The reason why I'm putting Petty is because I don't even think Kyle wasn't that dominant. Like Petty was dominant. Like it really took an adjustment for me to see that type of play style even being played because I don't see that.
Yeah.
But he like legit was a back to the basket big, and it was nothing nobody could do with him.
Yeah.
So just off of that alone, because this is a Mount Rushmore, this is not the top 5 right now or whatever. This is Mount Rushmore
all time.
And then I might have to throw. I probably got to throw Austin.
Yeah. So I'll say this about Kyle. So because I won my first championship with Kyle, and you weren't there for that season. Matter of fact, you came the next season. Kyle, because honestly, it was Kyle and Petty. Top center wise, top 2 centers. Like Petty was, if you wanted to say slightly more defensive minded, yes, but Kyle slightly more offensive minded, yes. Like it was like Kyle was so dominant that those first 2 seasons offensively and defensively, absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And then from there, same thing with Petty. To me, I coined them the standard because to me it's like if you want to figure out how to play big the right way,
Yeah.
you go to Petty.
Yeah.
And now I would even put Kyle in that too because Kyle showed the different style when he played with you because usually his style was more offensively, but now he took on the more utility role and was still dominant just because the IQ piece of it. It's the IQ. So that's Mount Rushmore. Let's create your Voltron. So once again, for people who don't know, the Voltron is you're going to create a perfect player. You're admitting yourself, you're not included in the list, but you're going to take players that you played with before. You can only use them one time. You're going to take the handles, playmaking, scoring, finishing, and defense. So let's start with the handles. Who handles are you taking?
That's easy. That's Sat.
Sat. I feel like Sat was gonna be one.
Yeah. That's easy. He not only can he do pretty much everything I can do with the handles. He was a way better dribbler than me in 22.
Yeah.
So that's easy.
So all right. So playmaking, passing, setting the table.
And I can't use myself.
Can't use yourself.
Probably Austin.
Austin. All right. Scoring. Getting a bucket. 3-level score.
3-level.
Who bag you taking?
3-level. Probably Greg.
You know he's seeing it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what he's saying when he see this.
Yeah. Probably Greg.
Yeah, he's a bucket.
Yeah, if I could put myself, it would be me because I think that's my best ability.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You're a bucket. So finishing. That would be not just dunking, land it up, hop step, Euro, finishing at the basket.
Finishing. Probably Robbie.
Robbie. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so last but not least, what I feel like is one of the most important things, defense.
Keyshawn.
Easy. Not even close. So now let's create the best lineup. This is your dream lineup to save the world. Like this is to save the world. Where you now this one you will be included in. You're going to put yourself in a position, and then you're going to surround yourself with the pieces that you want. So, what position you playing first? Let's get you out the way.
Point guard.
All right. Now, who are you surrounding yourself with, and what position they're going to play?
Keyshawn at power forward. Kyle at center.
2 and 3.
It's a tough one. Austin on lock, and I'm gonna have to put. It's a tough one between John and Martin at shooting guard. I might have to put John at shooting guard. I don't know. That's a tough one. So in my head, what's going through my head is Martin. Martin is he's a lot more no conscience than John.
Yeah.
And at the shooting guard position, that's how you have to be. But John is a better. He takes smarter shots, and I feel like he doesn't live and die just by the three.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So it's tough, man. It's
yeah.
tough.
Pick your poison.
Yeah. I probably had to give it to John.
All right.
Yeah.
So Bullock at the 1, Sad
Mhm.
at the 2, Austin at the 3, Keyshawn at the 4, Kyle at the 5.
Yeah.
Tough,
Yeah.
tough. So number one, man, I appreciate you coming on, showing some love. We've been trying to get this thing going for a hot minute,
Yeah.
hot minute.
Yeah.
And perfect timing, honestly, you got through the Syracuse season
Mhm.
and was able to come out with a win, which to a lot of people's, estimation made you a Ajonte. And the
Mhm.
list is fluid. The list is fluid. The
Mhm.
list is fluid, right? Like, things can change. Things can change. But for you right now, I if anybody was to say you're not at the top of, you should be at the top of everyone's list, and
Mhm.
that's no, glaze or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's just, I mean, there's facts with it too. I mean, the proof
Yeah.
is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding, as they say.
Right.
So like, so what would you say this season going into, what is your goal? Or I know what the goal is, but what would you want your, I say this, what would you want your legacy to be? I know we're talking about 2K, blah, 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 but the people,
Yeah.
they know. So what,
Yeah. I mean, the goal always from the jump is to be number one guy. Like we talked about from jump, super competitive. So, but I'm at the point now. I feel like it's a good and a bad thing. It's like I'm not here to waste seasons because now I'm married. I
yeah,
got a lot of things going on, and it requires a lot of my time. And I feel like um, I put in I put in a lot of time on this game, like a
yeah,
lot of time. So like even with this season, it's like a so maybe if Martin can play and things like that, like I I just I'm at the point now. It's like, dude, I'm here to play. I'm here to win. Like I
yeah,
want to win now. I'm not here for no filler seasons, no in betweens, no nothing. I want to win now.
yeah,
So because of that, um, it is going. It determines a lot.
yeah, yeah,
Like I mean, the goal is to always win. That's always the goal. At this point in my 2K career, I was telling Syracuse team like, bro, I could care less about these regular season games. I don't really sit up in my chair until it's playoff time. Like
yeah,
when,
yeah.
when it's that time for playoffs, that's when I like really lock in. Of course, your habits that you create during the regular season, all those little
It
things.
matters. It matters. Yeah,
The accolades and it's about the championship at the end of the day. So
yeah, yeah.
at this point, it's like I don't know. I feel old. I feel like a LeBron entering his last season or something
Yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah. Because now you got people in the academy, man. They're trying to say who's next. They're trying to say who's next. Martin came back for another season or
Yeah.
another semester. You know.
Who's next? I think Martin. If Martin gets his mental side right, and he like just learns the game, like just settle down a little bit, and I mean, some of that is just his personality.
Yeah,
Like everybody do it differently, but
yeah.
with him, it's literally just the mental side. I'm telling you, it's just the mental side. He get the mental side of the game down, he he gonna be a problem. He gonna be.
Crazy.
I know he is.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll leave it with this right here. Tell us where, once again, give us the website for your clothing line, and then also give the people your IG as well, because I think that's where you do a little bit of promoting there too.
Yeah. So VolariXToro.com, VOLAREXTORO.com. That's the same handle on Instagram as well. My personal handle is TheLastBullock. I show a lot of the stuff early before anybody else sees it. Before my brand page sees it. So y'all want to follow me, see what new stuff we got coming. But appreciate my man Seth for having me. It's
Oh, for
been
sure, for sure.
nothing but good vibes, and it was a pleasure.
Yes,
So,
sir. And this is, man, the truth by Bullock. The truth by Bullock. This is the truth by Bullock, man.
sir.
Appreciate you coming, showing love, man. We'll see you guys. We'll catch you on the next one, brother.
Yes, sir.